An area of research in world Englishes is the ongoing change in grammar which is observed in different varieties and is exemplified in the changes in the subject-verb agreement rule in grammar. Another interesting area of research is variation in grammar. The variation in grammar that we see in different varieties of English is a result of the increase in the range of use of different linguistic items. So we can see or we can say that a variation study explores the range of use of linguistic items across different varieties and also how this range is increasing day by day as a result of the influence of comparable items in the local languages. So in this way, we can see that variation, which is studied, this kind of variation is a result of the nativization of different language items from English. Because of the influence of the local languages, the word changes or variations take place in different varieties of English which are used in outer and expanding circle countries. When we studied the differences between Singaporean and British English, and they selected the word until for their study. So this particular study focused on how the use of until is different in Singaporean English and British English. In British English, until has two functions. It functions as a conjunction and it also acts as a preposition. When until acts as a conjunction, it has two meanings. It indicates a point in time. For example, will guard the building until the statue is safely shipped back. And it also signals a result. For example, Dad will be busy until the book is out. When until acts as a preposition, we have sentences like will stay in New York until next week. In British English, one thing which is noticeable is that the action signaled by the main clause stops when the action signaled by the until clause starts. Let me explain what I mean. Let's take a look at these two sentences again. Will guard the building until the statue is safely shipped back. The action or the verb in the main clause will guard the building. So guarding of the building will come to an end when the statue is safely shipped back. So the action or the verb in the until clause, when this action starts, the action in the main clause comes to an end. Similarly, Dad will be busy until the book is out. So when the book is out, the busyness of Dad will come to an end. So the act of being busy will come to an end and then the book will come out. However, in Singaporean English, we see that the action of the main verb does not end at the point when the until the action in the until phrase starts. Let's take a look at these examples from Singaporean English. I waited until I was angry. If it were a British English sentence, this will bring us to the end of the sentence, which means that the waiting was over when the person got angry. However, in Singaporean English, we have sentences like this one, I waited until I was angry. Luckily, my turn came 10 minutes later. So the waiting did not come to an end. Even after the use of until, the waiting continued. Similarly, I ate until I was sick. So this should bring the thought to an end, but that is not what happens in Singaporean English. The action, that is eating, continues. I ate until I was sick, but I didn't want to stop because I already paid for the food. So this is one difference between Singaporean English, in the use of until between Singaporean and British English. Then we also see a semantic extension in the use of until in Singaporean English, which means that until is used in more meanings than it is used in British English. It is used to mean result or to mean to the extent or to a certain degree. Let's take a look at these two sentences. Don't talk until your saliva flies all over, which means don't talk to the extent that your saliva flies all over. Don't talk so much. Similarly, look at you. Laugh until your face is red. So you laugh until you get the result, that is, your face turns red. So these are semantic extensions or two uses of until which are not found in British English but are found in Singaporean English. Why do we have this semantic extension is because Singaporean English combines two features of a comparable linguistic item, Dao, which is a Chinese word. So in its semantics, the word Dao has the meaning of degree or result. So this meaning is added to the word until in Singaporean English. Similarly, the other difference is in the indication of non-terminal temporality, which means that the action in the main verb in the main clause does not end even after the action in the until clause starts. And so we see that if we conduct variation studies in world Englishes, we can make very interesting findings and study how different varieties are different from each other, and not only that, what causes these differences in different varieties.